Damn it. Welcome into the DNVR Broncos Podcast. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be super locked in for these first couple minutes while my guy Lorenzo Musetti. Yes.
Let's go Il Muso, known as Il Muso.
Hey, you know who this guy is?
Of course. If they are in the top 50 in the world and Italian, your guy is locked in. I'm playing pickleball today to end this lovely night. Yeah, Volo League, bro.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we're going hard. I don't know. They tell me pickleball time. I'm ready. I'm told I can't spike it at the net. I got to let it bounce.
Oh.
I might still just go up there, Patrick Rafter style, just pam, pam. That's a reference. If you get that Patrick Rafter reference, please hit me in the chat. I love you unconditionally. Though there may be some exceptions to that as well. Hey, Hank, how are you doing, man?
Well, we just need one more point from my boy, what's his name?
Il Muso, let's go.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, speaking of Italy and Italians, did you see this?
No, I can promise you I didn't. Ooh, Aubameyang. Did he go to Italy?
Don't think so.
No, he went to France. Marseille.
Same thing.
Marseille. Good for him. That's a nice place, Marseille.
I almost got it.
Once had some money stole from me on the streets in Marseille.
Wow.
Long story we can't get into on the airwaves, unfortunately. But speaking of Italy, Nick Saban claiming that at the Ferrari factory.
The what factory?
Ferrari.
Oh, yes.
Workers at the factory / museum. Like, I wonder what kind of access he was really granted. Straz, what up? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. That people who didn't even speak Italian, those cats, as he called them, who didn't even speak Italian at the Ferrari factory, said roll tide to him. I call BS to the umpteenth degree.
Wow.
And also, I've been entertaining myself all morning thinking of potential Italian phrases that were said to Nick Saban that he's confused for roll tide.
What'd you come up with?
Dov'hai? Roll tide.
Oh.
Which an Italian would say roll tide, roll tide.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me, yeah.
Roll tide, dov'hai?
What is
Roll tide,
that other thing mean?
brodai.
What is that one
They're
that isn't
all
roll tide?
variations of where are you going? What are you doing?
Oh.
And one of those is bro, but in Italian, bro, dai. Like, bro, come on.
Wow.
Because probably Saban's just distracted and in the way. Miss Terry's like, come on, Nick, we gotta move forward. I hate that he calls her Miss Terry. And yet it entertains me endlessly.
It is, yeah.
Oh, Miss Terry stories are my favorite thing from Coach Saban. So yeah, I call BS.
6-5 in the tiebreaker.
For Il Muso?
Yes.
Great.
6-6. So wait, you win by two.
Hopefully he's
So,
serving for it and can
Italy's going to
close it
have
out.
El Muso and Musaya?
And Musaya. Yep. Yeah, I think people are confused, but hi, chat. What were the one other? There's a lot of absurd bets in this parlay you've got right now.
Oh, yeah.
But tell me the one truly absurd one that I'm still shook
Well,
by.
so it's betting day on the podcast, so I figured, like I told Dre, I'm like $10 short for all my betting plan for this weekend for like the British Open, which is what I call it, even if it's wrong.
What
and
do others call it?
The Open.
Right.
It's like, no, there's too many opens just to give them the Open.
Right.
So
On
to
this
get my
podcast,
$10,
we'd be like, what sport are we even talking about?
exactly.
Yeah, the
I'm actually
Open.
confused. Is it tennis or golf?
It's golf.
Oh, I
of
thought
course
it was
it's golf.
I thought it was
Why?
tennis.
No, wrong. It's the Swedish Open going on right now. All of us know that,
Yeah,
including
all of us really
Lorenzo
know that.
Musetti.
Yeah, I
as
mean, literally
Andre would
all
say.
the top players in tennis were just playing Wimbledon, so only the scrubs are playing in the Swedish Open right now.
Be nice to them. They're gonna win me money. But basically, what I decided to do is I just go through and live bet a bunch of things that were going on and get all the odds, so I could just make my $10. If it doesn't work, then I've got to deposit whatever.
Right.
But so
I mean, Bet365 is going to hook you up with a free $200, but sure.
I am pretty excited about that. Musetti won. Yes.
Let's go.
Oh, that's why it disappeared, because it's now settled because I won. So I had Lorenzo Mazzetti. I had Anna Karolina Schmidlova, Slovenian. I Googled her after I made the bet.
Sure. Tennis player.
Manchester
Dare
United
I ask?
for Yaya, his guys.
I don't like. Screw that party club.
Bernie got you.
It's soccer.
Yeah, but Manchester
got
United
you
is
good,
a
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
horrible thing to say to me.
Dude,
I
I
bet
love
on
hearing
soccer
from,
for you.
Yeah.
Jeez, this
Bet
guy.
on the Rapids and lose some money with me.
I'm not betting on the damn Rapids. Who would actually bet on the Rapids?
Did you just hear me say lose money
Okay,
with
but
me?
there was like a Tigers team in there.
Yeah, well, I just got
Just
automatically.
get to it.
I got logged out while Yaya was over there talking to me. So now
Jeez
I'm logging back
Louise.
in to pull the details. I also.
I love hearing from Chris in Amsterdam right now, who's thanking us for keeping him informed. I mean, you're welcome, Chris. We'll try. Okay, we're going to
Yeah.
try to get to it. I would love to know what's going on in Amsterdam right now. How hot is it right now, Chris? Let us know. Let us know.
Yes, please. The Fubon Guardians, which is a baseball team, they were like minus 4,000. I threw them in because I just need that last little bit. They wound up winning, of course. And then the Saigon Heat, who were taking on the Nha Trang Dolphins in a basketball game. They had a 3-point lead with a minute 30 left.
Oh
And I was
my
like,
gosh.
we'll
That's-
ride with them.
Amazing. Wow. Well, happy Wednesday to everyone then.
Happy Wednesday.
This guy gets it,
Yep.
man. This guy gets it.
This is going to be a very betting heavy podcast,
All right.
especially thanks to our guys over at Bet365.
Broncos betting heavy.
Yes, Broncos betting heavy. We're
Yep.
going to go through some player props. We're going to go through some Broncos season long.
Oh, yeah.
Should you take the plunge into making a Super Bowl bet type
Whoa.
stuff? Yeah. So it might get a little bit sad at that point, but then we'll get happy again. Well, actually, it might not get too happy when we talk about all the division winners at the end of the show.
The book
Because
is happy
I
about
can't
the
take
Broncos.
Yeah.
8.5. All
Yeah.
Russ's props are way up.
Yeah, they're definitely way up. So let's just jump right in to the top. So there's a bunch of kind of like leader type props and award type props that are out there. I'm just gonna run through all these real quickly. If there's one that you like, stop me.
Okay.
You can tell me why you like it, and I'll do the same.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into more like the accurately set lines, the over-unders, more even
Let's
odds
do
type
it.
stuff. Marvin Mims, Offensive Rookie of the Year, 66-1.
Long shot.
Long.
With, of course, Bijan, Bryce Young being the top
Yeah.
guys. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba in Seattle is really in an ideal situation.
Yep.
No, I wouldn't mess with that.
I wouldn't mess with it either.
I wouldn't mess with that. I think Marvin Mims may impact some of the other props we look at later on, but I don't think enough so for that to be worth a sprinkle.
Drew Sanders, Defensive Rookie of the Year, 22-1.
More intrigued?
He could get the sacks.
More intrigued. Don't know that he'll get enough snaps, but that is a guy where if injuries kind of pushed him into especially a middle linebacker spot, he was the top-rated middle linebacker, off-ball linebacker in that class. He could rack up the tackles. He could add some sacks. Super athletic, fairly competent in space. Could get you some pass deflections, interceptions, what have
Yep.
you.
Definitely.
And yeah, plausibly could be a good dark horse candidate. I just don't see a true path for him starting as a rookie. So he's a bit
Exactly.
behind the 8 ball there.
Yep. Situational pass rusher, maybe that gets him enough sacks to get in the conversation. Late in the year, he gets a real role. 22-1, though. Those are not bad odds, which is kind of surprising.
Not
But
bad odds.
when you expected him to be a first-round pick, maybe not that surprising, especially given he had 9.5
Right.
sacks last year.
Right. And, I mean, you're mentioning sacks a lot. I think, in a sense, given Randy Gregory, Baron Browning's injury history, Frank Clark is kind of a question mark.
Yep.
And he's a street free agent, essentially. His path to seeing lots of snaps probably does come more at outside linebacker than it does
Probably.
otherwise. Yeah.
Pat Surtain, Defensive Player of the Year at 50-1. For reference, Sauce Gardner, 14-1.
Yes. So Pat's being underrated when compared to other top quarterbacks. What's Trayvon Diggs?
I'll pull that up.
Here, I actually need to pull that up too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
whoops.
wrote all these down this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
So
Trayvon Diggs. Okay.
Sauce Gardner 14-1. I mean,
I don't see Diggs.
he's up there. He's the second highest rated DB.
Trayvon Diggs
On
plus
this
20,000.
list. Plus 20,000.
So
Wow.
200 to 1.
Defense has to be a top 3 unit.
Yep.
Top 5 maybe even. But top 3
Mm-hmm.
unit. They need to be a playoff team. Probably a double-digit win team.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
And he has to have like 5+ interceptions.
Yep.
And a couple like game-breaking plays. Like, I don't know, a game flipping pick six, pass deflection in the end zone that ends the game. It's really tough for a quarterback,
Yep.
especially a
Cornerbacks don't win
number
very
one
often.
cornerback that has an unproven number 2 playing opposite. And how many times will Pat even be challenged to really get those opportunities, right?
I kind of like it at 50 to 1. In terms of all the long shots, like the fact that it's 50 to 1 is why I think I'd be willing to not throw much down on it, but you know, $5, $250. That's almost worth it, because I don't think it'll hit because there's so many things working against it. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's massive Pat Surtain, but like if by halfway through the season everybody's just in consensus that Pat Surtain's the best cornerback alive, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I think that's like a 1 in 3 chance, because all you need is Sauce to have a couple rough games between now and then. And then from there, you know, you need nobody put up 18 sacks or anything crazy like that. You need the defense to be good, some of those things. But I do think that there's a path. I think nationally people are ready to accept Pat Surtain more than maybe it feels like.
I agree. And I mean, say you could buy the Broncos win total, which is at 8.5. Say you could buy it at 10.5 for
Yep.
extra juice.
Yep.
Or like the Broncos to win the division plus 550.
Yep.
This is better value than that.
Definitely.
If they won the division, this becomes PS2 Defensive Player of the Year is a much better value than that plus 550, because like some of these longer shots on these awards will be happening if the Broncos have kind of the type of season they haven't had in a long while, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And they'd be led by the defense. They'd be, you know,
I think
all
there's
the
a path.
stars
At
would
50 to
align.
1, I'm really
PS2
tempted.
would be a big part of that. Yeah.
Sean Payton Coach of the Year 12 to 1. I'm definitely throwing something down on that one.
That one by far the best value of any bet we'll probably talk about today.
Yep.
Broncos related.
Yep. There's just everything working in his favor.
Now, second, we should mention, tied for second shortest odds. So yes, 12 to 1, but the favorite, Dan Campbell, is 10 to 1.
Yep.
And he's tied with Matt Eberflus at 12 to 1. Dan Campbell, we were talking about this with Ryan. I mean, the Lions kind of already had their moment. Like they really
I think
have to
so.
have that second jump.
Yep.
Which, I mean, they are the favorites to win their division and stuff. I just think in the offseason, the Lions took a bit of a step back.
I don't know. I think that offense is good. I think a lot of it's replicable. Like they add receivers, which is nice. Cleve Raymond was their second leading receiver last year, and Jared Goff still put up crazy numbers. And the defense was so bad that maybe just little upgrades are enough. You lose Jamal Williams.
I know, but I'm not sure they made the right upgrades.
I don't think they're going to be any better than they were last year.
Right. I like Sean Payton's
Definitely.
path to Coach of the Year better than Dan Campbell, who instead of 8 wins, wins 9 wins.
Definitely.
With the Lions.
Yep. I agree. That is probably the best bet of any of these.
And then look down the list. There are not a ton of candidates that scare me. Like, I think the NFC South is very winnable. So there's some NFC South coaches, like Frank Reich, if Bryce Young had a big year and the Panthers make the playoffs in the NFC South, even as an 8-9 team, then he becomes a candidate. But, like, the Broncos, 8.5. Say they go over. You get 9+ wins. You make the playoffs in a loaded AFC. Russ looks better, and we'll get into Russ's props in a sec. yeah, there's a very easy path for that plus 12 to 1 bet to be like,
Easy.
yeah, this should have been like plus 500.
Exactly.
This should be shorter odds than the Broncos to win the AFC West.
Definitely. Definitely. Because if they win, he's probably winning it.
Definitely.
Russell Wilson to lead the NFL in passing yards at 25 to 1.
That would be nuts.
Touchdowns at 33 to 1.
Obviously,
Interceptions at 60 to 1. So they really don't think he's throwing picks. Maybe they think they're willing to bench him for Stidham.
it's interesting, man.
Yep.
Because had we talked about a Sean Payton offense 5-6 years ago, when Breeze is just rewriting like the yards record every season, you would have thought, well, shit,
true.
why not?
It's
When
just
I
so
look
hard.
at more recent Sean Payton offenses, under Breeze especially, it's fewer yards, more touchdowns.
Yep. And Russ has never been a big volume passer. So
He
there's
hasn't.
nothing he doesn't, even if we
Now-
hadn't seen last year, he wouldn't really bring much to the table in terms of leading it. You're mostly saying, hey, it's Sean Payton in this offense, maybe he can do it. So I
Now,
don't
wasn't that part of the complaint for us in Seattle, though?
that was part of the
like,
complaint.
I want to be given the keys and
Yep.
allowed to throw it around the park more.
And not throw for 3,700 yards per season.
Right.
Which is
But
just,
we have
meh.
kind of punted on Russ's feelings since then, I think.
that is true. So I'm not touching any of those. Jerry Jeudy to lead in receiving yards at 40 to 1, to lead in touchdowns at 50 to 1, receptions at 75 to 1.
Going
I'm not
back
touching
to
those
Russ
either.
interceptions, he's getting pulled before he can lead the league
Exactly.
in interceptions, right? Like that's what
Exactly.
Stidham allows you to do.
Yep.
Is you don't have to just sit through that kind of mess.
Yep. No reason to touch it.
Cortland Sutton plus 8,000 to
Yep.
lead the league in receiving yards. Is there any more Broncos on here?
Judy at 40 to 1. Oh, but
yeah,
other than
yeah,
those
you
two, no,
mentioned
no.
Jeudy for sure.
And then Sutton's also on the receptions at 100 to 1. But I'm not touching any of those. Receiving yards leader, receptions leader, or touchdowns leader for either of those two.
Nice. Yeah.
There's just too many guys.
I think that would be a little pie in the sky, let's say.
Yep. Javonte, rushing yards leader at 40 to 1. Not touching that. Rushing touchdowns leader at 75 to 1. Not touching that one either. But Marvin Mims to lead rookies in receiving yards at 33 to 1. It's the 33 to 1 that stands out to me. It's not that I think he's going to do it,
Where is
but
this?
if he pops,
I know I'm on the futures.
I think
with
it's
all
toward the
list.
bottom. Let me see if I can
Player
find
regular season. Oh, it's fine.
it. Oh, right in the middle. Most regular season rookie receiving yards. So it's Jordan Addison plus 275, Jackson Smith and Jigba plus 300, Quentin Johnson plus 500. Then you got Zay Flowers, Jonathan Mingo, Dalton Kincaid, Rashee Rice, Jaden Reed, Jalen Hyatt, Sam Laporta, Cedric Tillman, Jameer Gibbs, then Marvin Mims.
Okay, it's worth a sprinkle.
I think so.
It's better value than like the second tier. Basically, Rashee Rice down. Mims, I think, should be closer to the plus 2,000 Rashee Rice is at. Yeah, that's not terrible value. I mean, you got to remember, it is a loaded wide receiver room. Of all those wide receivers, there's only a couple that Sean Payton has brought in.
It's true.
And by
there's
far
also-
the most talented
There's also
one.
a couple he's tried to get rid of.
Yeah,
So
that's right. And several more who, have struggled to play a full season.
exactly. And that's kind of the X factor.
So Mims could be featured. Also, Mims has some real like Tyler Lockett to this game. And I mean, if Russ is just like bombing off play action and a more balanced attack,
Yep.
he's definitely going to be one of those deep targets,
Definitely. That's definitely one that I'm taking.
And remember, this isn't a wide receiver class that had 3 top 15 guys. All these guys kind of went a little later in the draft.
Yep.
Okay.
I like it.
We're sprinkling this. This I enjoy. Good, Henry. Good.
Ooh. Russell Wilson to lead quarterbacks in rushing yards, 150 to 1.
That would be nuts.
There's no way at this point. Like he's just, it's too late for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it would be insane. And also just think of the candidates you have.
Yep. It's Justin Fields who's going to win it.
For sure. Lamar's coming back. Jalen Hurts. Anthony Richardson's rookie season will be crazy.
Yep.
Josh Allen, they still don't have a reliable running game. Daniel Jones, he might have to run it more without Saquon. Deshaun with a full season. Yeah. That's insane.
That is insane. I wish. Oh, there it is.
By far the longest odds.
So he finished first among quarterbacks in rushing yards only once, 2014. Second in 2017, third in 12, 13, 15, fourth in 2020, but 17th and 11th the last two seasons. So there's no reason to touch that. But 150 to 1, you see that number and it's tempting. Let's see. These start to get a little bit more realistic here. Jerry Jeudy to have 10 receiving touchdowns is 6 to 1. Sutton to have 10 receiving touchdowns is 10 to 1. I don't think I want either of those, but 6 to 1 for Jerry to get 10 is tempting.
The juice is tempting.
Mm-hmm.
The juice is tempting. Sean Payton offenses.
Michael Thomas. How many times did he get 10?
They throw for a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tuds in the air, Henry. And Jeudy would be your primary factor. I might like that on a little sprinkle.
Only 5 players had 10 receiving touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
Year before it was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I love this feature on Bet365. Like I'm trying to find for Chris from Amsterdam. If they have Riley Moss, Defensive Rookie of the Year, you can have. They do have a feature at the very bottom that is others on request.
Yeah.
So and I might be able to get that at like 100 to 1. Yeah.
Or more, yeah. Because he's a ball hawk, too. He could get some picks.
Oh, he could be playing.
Yeah.
He could be playing. He could be targeted a lot. And, yeah, he could get those picks. If he leads defensive rookies in interceptions, he's definitely in the mix.
What number would you need to sprinkle it? Does 100 to 1 do it? Do you need 200 to 1?
I mean, look. This is my flaw in my system is once we get past like who are my long I just moved it, so give me a second. I want to find the longest odds of Defensive Rookie of the Year, which again Riley Moss not even on the list.
Yep.
Like Corey Trice is plus 20,000.
So that's 200 to 1.
I'm in. Yeah. Like anything over that, I'll sprinkle and whatever. I don't care.
With Riley Moss, like he might be 500 to 1.
Sure.
It's possible.
But again, I'll take 200 to 1. I don't care. So yeah.
All right. Let's hit the actually before we get to these,
yes.
Let's talk about our friends over at Kind Love. Kind Love is awesome, and you can actually get 25% off.
Heck yeah.
With the code DNVR. So that makes them even more awesome. They're farm to table dispensary. They created the Turbo Core, which is really taking over the game here. It's a 100 milligram stick. It looks just like a toothpick. And it's full spectrum cannabis concentrate that's designed with a pointed tip so you can easily slide into any joint, blunt, or cigarette to instantly infuse it. Just shove it right in there. And it'll actually do a whole bunch of different things. Like make it burn more smoothly and kind of control the feel of the joint. So they also have the turbo joint line, so you don't have to shove it in yourself. There's the 0.7 gram whole bud that's combined with the 0.3 gram of turbo keef. Ridiculously potent, burns significantly smoother than other infused pre-rolls on the market. Doesn't melt, isn't messy, so it just burns slower, is much more flavorful. They've got a whole bunch of other stuff, different deals like the Get It While It's Hot flower shelf. That's eighths for $20 out the door. ounces for $100 out the door. So you can visit one of their stores in Cherry Creek or North Denver, mention DNVR, and receive the DNVR exclusive discount of 25% off all Kind Love flour, pre-rolls, and their turbo joint line. You can also visit their website, kindlove.com, and use the code DNVR for online ordering and their full extensive menu. Also want to give a shout out to Spirit Hound. I get it now. Spirit. It was a howl.
Yeah, I'm a howling because I'm a hound.
He's never heard a hound before.
Get them dogs out. You know
I'm
what
like,
I'm
you
saying?
barely got it. That's what I'm like, very like.
Oh.
It's just getting fuzzy over there.
Big time got it.
Yeah, Spirit Hound is awesome. It's actually an award-winning distillery. They have award-winning whiskey, like the 2022 Whiskey of the Year in the London Spirits competition. That's a pretty big award.
No joke, guys. This is premium stuff.
Is
no
whiskey
doubt about
from London?
Oh boy, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Where do you think it's from?
I can tell you right now, it's
Don't cheat.
Scotland.
there. You go.
Scotland.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was one of those.
Yep.
So they've got
Here he is.
a whole bunch of, like, if you bring in the juniper berries to their distillery, which is in Lyons, Colorado, you get a free cocktail.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. When we were up hiking,
What a deal.
somebody said, like, oh, look, there's juniper berries. And I was like, oh, I could probably grab those. If I was in Canada right now, it'd be perfect.
Next time you're in Montana.
Yeah.
And they don't just do whiskey. They do whiskey, vodka, gin. We love a good G&T.
Yep.
You know that.
And they're in stores across Colorado. You can order them online to 40 plus states, and you don't have to have a retriever to track down a bottle. You head over to spirithounds.com for availability and details on how and where to buy.
They got that dog.
They got that dog. All right. So these are some more realistic props.
They're player props.
Let's start with Russell
Season
Wilson.
player props.
Russell Wilson over under 3,800.5 passing yards. What do you think of that?
So, 35 hundo last year, yes?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I'm almost
Yep, 35-24.
Yep.
Year before it was only 31-13. I guess he missed.
He missed games there.
He did.
Right?
But yards per game last year was 234. Year before it was 222.
So he hasn't gone over this number in a while.
No.
It's as you know, with these season-long props, the big question is always how many games can we expect them to play?
Yep.
The book is always kind of on the side of the under, because the under is the side that says, okay, well, anything could happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stars need to kind of align for just to be healthy and perform at a consistent level every single game and stay up. This one, Hank, I just don't love.
I don't either.
Just don't love it. I could totally see Russ go over this in his first year with Sean Payton and just a better offense. I mean, he was very close last year with playing a not such a great season. And, you know, I mean, just 2020, 2019, he was easily going over 4,000. I think the next one we're going to talk about is the one where I'm really intrigued.
Yep.
This,
And
to me, is more of a stay away. Now, the number has to be set there, right? Like, if it was any lower than 3,800, I think the over starts to feel pretty good at 37, 36.
I agree.
38,
And that's the thing, is that you almost always want to take the under on all these because so many people take the overs because they just bet on their team and say, oh, it's the Russ over, the Jeudy over. Why not do it? And that's why I was able to make so much money last year, taking like the Treylon Burks under and the DeAndre Swift under, the Zach Ertz under, and just all these unders. And I hit like 80% of them.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that kind of works against taking any of these. Russell Wilson over 24.5 passing touchdowns. Is that more tempting? Oh, and I should say, if he were to play his average yards per game throughout his entire career, plays 17 games, he hits that over. Plays 16 games, he doesn't. So there's kind of where the trade-off is. Yeah.
That is right on the money there, huh?
It is. And that's for the yards.
Yeah,
to be
that's
clear, yep.
career, though.
That's career, including last year, including all of it.
What's interesting about 24.5 on Russ' side only, last season, 8 tuds, final 4 games, right?
Yeah.
16 the entire season, though.
Yep.
So you need 8 over the total last year. But if he's at the pace he was at in the last 4 games, well, then we're projecting, even if he just plays 15 games, we're projecting closer to 30.
Yep. And in Seattle, he put up 29 a year, little over 29 a year.
Right, which when you look at his career averages, then I went to the Saints under Sean Payton, passing tuds. You start with the year where it's, let me pull it up right here. Trevor Siemian and Jameis Winston and even Taysom Hill split some time at quarterback.
Yep.
The team as a whole has well over 30 passing touchdowns
I believe it.
in that atrocious quarterback room. No, 29, excuse me. The last season with Drew Brees. And that's, so 29 passing touchdowns, Sean Payton's final year with the Saints. Last year with Drew Brees, 28 passing touchdowns as a team. 2019, 36. You see where
Okay.
I'm going with this?
I see where you're going.
And it only gets higher and higher and higher. And we've been in no way close to that mid-20s figure. 2018, 33. So I just think this is an offense that's going to pass for a lot of tuds and has a lot of quality at wide receiver. That's where you have a lot of talent. And these aren't diminutive receivers, right? I mean,
No.
Cortland's big, Patrick's big. You have the tight ends you feel good about. Judy's got decent size. It's not great size. but
Especially
it's
for your
not
smallest
bad
receiver on
size.
the field.
Exactly. And Marvin Mims can go up and grab it.
Yeah.
I love the over here.
Okay.
This is the one for us I really feel good about.
Okay. Well, just real quick, you can take him to get 4,000 passing yards at plus 160. I'd imagine that's juice isn't worth it considering we don't like the other one. 5,000 is 28-1. He's never done that. He won't do it.
But if he did,
Wow.
just plus 160 over 4,000.
Yeah. It's not tempting.
The book is high on this offense, man.
It's interesting.
And
Also,
this
real
team
quick,
in general. I mean,
Madden
5-win
just
team
put
set
out
at
their
8.5.
top 20 running back rankings. Where do you think Javonte fits in?
Did he make the top 20?
He didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that would've
okay,
been
not
my
surprised.
guess that he didn't make it.
I know. It's just tough when you see like Damian Pierce is in there and there's
It's
like
just hype, man.
It
It's
is just hype.
I mean, there's just a lot of unknown with Javonte.
Yep.
But like all this optimism about Russ and some of the wide receivers, if Javonte's actually healthy and can play most of the season, a lot of that should apply to Javonte as well.
And they don't have Javonte props up yet on Bet365,
They
which
don't?
makes sense given he's hurt, but
The unknowns are way heavily for a guy. Javonte
exactly.
is.
They do have these receivers though. They have Jerry and they have Cortland. So let's hit Jerry first. His line is set at 900.5 receiving yards. You got to take that, right? Like that just feels like free money.
I don't know about free money, but it's Jerry's time.
As long as he stays healthy, how could he not hit that?
He
We'll
should
touch
be
wood.
the featured weapon of this offense, right?
If he has 972 last year. This year,
How much was he? 10 plus tuds?
10 plus touchdowns, 6-1.
I'm sprinkling that, and I'm taking. I'm doing it, man.
What about
doing it.
Cortland at 700.5 receiving yards?
Okay, so on Cortland, likelihood he's a Bronco by week 1.
That's,
We'll go-
I mean,
Just get
95%.
likelihood he's a Bronco past the trade deadline.
70%?
Okay, those are pretty high. Those are higher than I expected. More likely to go over this number if he's a Bronco or on another team that trades for him.
I think on another team.
Yeah.
I think on another team. At the
Yeah.
same time, though, like 829 last year, and he missed a couple games. 776 the year before, which is over 700.
Yeah.
He's hit 700 every single year of his career, except for the one where he tore his ACL week 1.
Yeah. Huh. And played more games than consistently been available more often than guys like
Yeah.
KJ and Tim Patrick the last couple of seasons.
Yep. So let's see. Over his career, 53.6 yards per game. So if you do that times 17 games, 900, 16 games, 857, strike 14, 750, 13, and he's at 696. So if he misses 3 games and puts up career averages, he clears it by 50 yards.
He's the one I'm most uncertain about as far as how he fits into Sean Payton's offense.
Yep.
Because I think everyone healthy, I definitely think Patrick and Jeudy are ahead of him. And I feel like Mims and maybe even KJ will be cutting into some of his stuff. Not to mention, the fullback and a second tight end sets and stuff like that.
It's true.
Like, I think if anyone is going to get his share of snaps, like, infringed upon the most while everyone's fully healthy, it's him. And that's more off, said right, like, if he turns into this offense's Michael Thomas, no,
Yeah.
not quite that route
Yep.
runner, but, like, becomes that big outside, short to intermediate, like, possession wide receiver that's just racking up 10 plus receptions a game. I wouldn't be shocked.
No. I like the over. I do like the.
It is
I
a low
honestly like it
number,
just as
huh?
much as I like Jerry's 900.5. But I'm probably not going to take both.
Sell me on it. What's
mean-
the elevator pitch for the over on court?
Over on the elevator pitch is that every single year, all 4 years except for when he tore his ACL, he's hit this number, including last year in a terrible offense. Now you get Sean Payton as the coach. Sure, there's going to be other receivers out there, but I mean, they could steal 150 yards from him. He'd still get it last year. They could. I think there's also probably more passing yards to go around. I do think Russ probably throws for more passing yards this year than he did last year. So there's another, call it 200,
Yeah.
250 that gets split around. Maybe he gets 50 of that. Maybe it's 100 of that. Like, it almost feels too easy to me.
I like how bullish you are about it. I mean, I think the same perspective of that I have with Russ, where it's like, look, things are just going to be better offensively. A lot of that, same exact case you just made for court.
Yep. So
Okay.
I like both
Interesting.
of those, but I'm probably not going to take both because it feels kind of like betting against myself. I'm not sure which one. Jerry to have 1,000 receiving yards at plus 150. I'll probably stick to the normal line. That's just not enough juice. Cortland to have 1,000 receiving yards, 4-1. That one's a little more tempting.
Four to one, huh?
4-1.
Gosh.
That's one of those.
I don't know why. I just don't know if Sutton's going to have that kind of massive season.
It's possible. I mean, obviously possible. I
You
think
really
that's
got
about
me
it.
thinking. You really got me thinking.
1,500 yards for Jerry's, 20-1. Probably don't need to touch that.
That's a lot.
Comeback player of the year, you can get Russ at 18-1. You can also get Yeah, no, that is right. Russ at 18-1.
Yeah,
you can
DeMar Hamlin, heavy favorite on that one.
Or you can get Javonte, Jerry, or Cortland at 50-1. Which I'm not sure why.
No.
I just can't imagine seeing them in the lens of coming back, except for Javonte, obviously.
Back to Jeudy over 1,500 at 20-1.
Yep.
Is that better value than over 10 over 10 touchdowns at 6-1?
1,500 is just so many yards.
I know,
like,
but
you need
isn't he
him to
more
go crazy.
likely to rack up yards than he is go double-digit touchdowns?
The thing is, with the touchdowns, I think you can luck your way into it, which almost feels like a fallback plan that I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
With the yards,
That really is just scoring a touchdown like 65% of the games.
yeah, well, like we saw, there was the Chiefs games. He had 3 in one game.
Yeah.
You know, if you go out there week 1 and he just torches a terrible Raiders secondary, gets himself 3 touchdowns, which he probably won't, but then all of a sudden you only need 7 the rest of the year. Meanwhile, like to do the same thing, it's like, yeah, maybe he goes for 250 receiving yards. He still needs 1250 the rest of the season, and that's a massive number. You got to be so consistent.
Huh.
But it is also 20-1.
Interesting. Bro, the chat every day. Broncos to have 1 passing touchdown in every regular season game. At plus 11 hundo, man.
I mean, what Russ is set at 24.5, so 17 games. So you'd need, like, if he just say he hits that over, gets 25, 1 in every game, that means he has 8 others that you spread across the season.
There were too many games with goose eggs
Yeah.
last year. No, yesterday's prop was over
Plus
2+
14.
touchdowns every game.
Yep.
Defensive or otherwise, but every game scored 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
And you looked to see if any other team had done it.
I thought it was plus 14 points in every game. That's why I was confused, but it was that. And so I looked at the Chiefs, and they didn't lose by 14 points. I wonder if they scored at least 2 touchdowns. I can check real quick.
Wasn't there that Colts game where they didn't even get to 20 points? I feel like they didn't get
think
2
that's true,
touchdowns
yeah.
that game.
I think, was that like 18-17 though?
It could be, I know. They barely beat the Texans, too.
Yeah. This is taking a
Damn.
while to load.
I got you, bro. Don't worry.
While you do that, I'll talk about our friends over at Breckenridge Brewery. Yeah, Breckenridge Brewery is incredible. Our longest lasting partner.
Dang.
They've got to be, right? Probably pretty significantly.
Yeah, probably.
By a mile. They've got all sorts of awesome beers, including the what is it? Is it the Shandy?
Palisade
Peach. That's right. The Palisade Peach, the beer of the month, which comes at a discount at the DNVR Bar if you come down here.
On Taparoo?
On Taparoo.
Dang.
Dang.
Did they talk about Palisade Peaches in Montana?
No.
They're an institution in Colorado.
Yeah, because
The
Palisade is
best
in
gets
Colorado.
sent up to like the hotels in New York.
Wow.
And then some of those go to Breckenridge Brewery for the Palisade Peach Ale.
Wow.
Boom.
Wow.
Taste of Colorado, a taste of summer.
A taste of summer for sure. Breckenridge Brewery, they've been around for 33 years. They're still making great beers. And all of that time they've spent, they've really figured out what they're, how to make a good beer.
Right.
Right. Obviously, that helps. Also, all their beers are made with 100% renewable energy. You can also head out to the farmhouse, which is open from 4 to 9:30. They've got a whole bunch of merch giveaways for all the women's national team games. If you're not here, some big screens around the beer garden, some specials going on. So if you can't come to the DNVR bar for the World Cup watch parties, go over to
The farmhouse.
The farmhouse.
Over there. If you're on that side of town, check them out.
and also Illegal Pete's. I haven't been to Illegal Pete's in a bit now. I need to get back.
Yeah, I have a 30-minute window after this before
Ooh.
something else I got to do, and I need to figure out how I can rush over to Pete's.
Yeah.
Yeah, some smart mouth suggestion.
He always does.
You're looking into a mic because it's not sponsored.
I went to Illegal Pete's at least like twice a week during that Nuggets playoff run.
I kind of dream about their queso and reverse nachos.
Yeah. It is incredible food.
You ever get the reverse nachos with the green pork salsa too?
No. Wait, green chili?
Green chili?
Yeah. No. That sounds incredible though.
Green pork salsa.
Green pork
It's like
sauce.
when my sister asked me if I knew someone was coming over to cut the grass. Like, it's called mow the lawn.
Cut the
God.
You can also go get 5 high noons for $22. They've got all sorts of awesome specials over there. So
What?
definitely get over there, especially if you're going to like a Rockies game. That's a nice little walk down through Denver. Get free marg with your ticket. So yeah, make sure that's your go-to spot for burritos, buddies, and beer.
Boom.
Boom.
Chris is off to dinner. Enjoy Amsterdam for us, Chris.
Enjoy it. Did we ever get a weather update?
Well, yeah, we've been busy, okay?
I can't read those from this far away.
71 Fahrenheit, 54 at night. That sounds glorious.
Wow.
I hope he's biking and just enjoying the whole Amsterdam thing. I hope he's buying an Ajax jersey out there.
Mahomes is minus 5,000 to throw for 4,000 passing yards.
Oh, yeah. I guess you can throw that into a bunch of stupid parlays to like increase the juice just barely.
That's where like I wish they offered the other side. You're kind of, I mean, just betting on an injury, which feels wrong. But when they're giving you, what is that? You got to bet $50 to win $1. So in theory, it'd be something like you bet $1 to win $50. It's probably more like 40.
I think what that comes out to is you need to bet $5,000 to win 100.
Yep. So then that would be 500
again,
and then 50. Yeah.
It feels like, yes, obviously going over 4,000, incredibly likely. It is football. Someone can get injured and be out 6 weeks anytime.
And that's why I wish they offered the other side, because I would totally be in on that.
Yep, he would. He would. Zareel Goodwin with a great stat that I've seen before, but Mike Vrabel has more receiving touchdowns than any receiver on the Titans roster right now.
All right, so we don't have time to do all the
D-Hop.
things that we had planned to do.
No.
So
Gone long.
we're gonna have to push one to tomorrow. So we can either go through Broncos props or we go pick division winner. Let's do division winners tomorrow. Yep.
Yes.
Then we'll do more NFL type stuff tomorrow, assuming there's no big news.
Fun.
Yeah, we can really dig in if we have more time.
I wasn't sure I needed to be on tomorrow, but this is fun. This is fun. I love this.
Dre, you are on every day until like next Thursday.
Right. For the rest of July, I'm just a regular co-host.
Now that Brian is gone, there is no...
Sorry you missed the announcement graphic, but you got that news live on the show.
I have no idea who's even going to be on Friday.
Please hit the likes. Zach will bully me when I get back and he sees how low the likes are on these shows.
That is true.
So I beg you, please give us likes.
I know. I was looking... The Twitter analytics are so dumb. Like, they're just so broken. Like, I pull up and it's like, yeah, last 28 days, 169 new followers on DNVR Broncos. And I like refresh and it's like 260 new followers. It's like, well, I know that that's not true because I get the notification.
Every number was just a 69.
Wow. That would
be genius, Twitter analytics.
That might be where we're going. But yeah, so you can't actually see the number. That's like, oh, the numbers are good. And then you refresh and like, oh, they're all totally different.
Right. Broncos team future.
Broncos team futures. Let's go from craziest to least crazy. No, let's go least crazy to crazy. 8.5 wins.
8.5 wins. Not super duper crazy.
Not crazy at all.
You go through the schedule. I think they basically get to to week 16 with 8 wins. I think they come out of week 16 with 8 wins and 2 chances to go over that number.
Okay. I'm just going to fly through this real quick, even though this is something we should say for later. I'll say Raiders win, Commanders win, Dolphins loss, Bears win, Jets loss, Chiefs loss, Packers
win.
Okay, Packers win.
It's Jordan loss.
Chiefs loss. I know, but it's yeah. It's also the Broncos who won 5 games last year.
No, I know, but like we need to like plausibly find a path to
I'm not
being
finding
around this number.
I'm not finding a path. I'm just guessing.
Okay.
So Bills loss, Vikings. I'll go loss since I gave the Packers win. Browns will go win. Texans win. Chargers.
You got to split.
Will win this one.
Yeah.
So that's 7. Lions is a win. That's 8. Patriots at home. That's a win. That's 9. So we're good. With 2 games to spare.
It's on that number, man.
Yep.
It's on that number.
I do like the over though.
There's enough toss-ups. Yeah. I think the over is good. I mean, it's not a bet I'm crazy on just because it's even money and it's not going to pay out for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm in on the over. Like
I did.
It's not going to be my favorite bet in my bet slip, but
I had one where I like bought it down a little bit, and combined it with the 3.5 wins for CU. So you just need 4 and 6, and that feels more comfortable.
I like that. You're teasing win totals on futures?
Why not?
This is high-end stuff, Henry.
To make the playoffs,
Yes.
plus 195.
To make the playoffs plus 195, how many wins does it take to make the playoffs in the AFC?
I think I'd say you're better than 50-50 if you win 10. Better than a 50-50 chance.
Oh, for sure. But the question is, does 9 do it?
9 doesn't do it.
9 doesn't do it.
I guess I always forget there's a second wild card spot, but no, I don't think it is. I mean, the AFC is just too good.
Yeah, I know, but that also means like teams cannibalize themselves.
They do, but they also get to play the NFC for a handful of games a year, 5 games a year.
For sure, but I'm just saying, like, would it be crazy if the second best team in the AFC North and
I guess
the Chargers all have 9 wins?
2 teams did get in at 9 last year.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because that's where I'm at.
9 might be enough.
That's what I'm saying. So you're getting extra juice for what ultimately over 8.5 might still get you.
Yeah. A team got in at 9 last year.
Yeah.
The year before. 9-7-1 with the tie. But then there's 3 teams that didn't get in at 9. Last year there were a couple teams with 9 wins that didn't get in. I'd say
you're on the verge.
You've got like a 20% chance if you win 9 games.
20%?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Year before that,
I think that's pretty good.
year before that, all 3 wildcard teams had 11 wins. Dolphins missed the playoffs with 10. 20% chance at 9. 85% chance at 10.
For sure. I like that.
Yeah. So, basically 2 to 1 odds. I like it.
I'm kind of more in on that than like that. The juice has
Yeah.
me more interested than over 8.5.
Yeah, that's probably fair. That's another one where it's like maybe take that and take the Nuggets to win the West in the NBA. Just like juice it up if you're going to be waiting on it, you know?
Sure.
That's how I feel about those.
That's another one though where it's like if the Broncos go from 5 wins to making the playoffs at 10 wins, Sean Payton 12 to 1, very, very, very
Definitely.
good bet.
That's
to
why
win
we like
Coach of
that
the
one
year,
so
man.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's such better juice than just a little under 2 to 1 to make the playoffs.
That's like Bryce Young makes a run with the Panthers.
Right.
Lions only did win 5 games last year. If they make the playoffs, Dan Campbell, I get why he's way up there.
They won 8 last year.
Sorry, I'm in 2020 still.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
we
yeah.
go. That makes way more sense than those other numbers I was looking at.
Could
So I
you
was like, wait,
imagine?
well, there's the Eagles too.
Like, wow, all that Lions hype was a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
They only won 5 games.
Like a Rams bounce back. I think they'd love to give it to Sean McVay.
Why am I struggling to find regular season wins?
All right. Broncos to win the AFC West plus 550.
Yeah.
I don't have much interest in that. Chiefs just scare me too much.
Yeah. I think that's just a little bullish
Yep.
in a loaded division.
I need more than 5.5 to 1.
I mean, I think you need more than 1 year of Sean Payton adapting his roster and game
Yep.
planning against the Chiefs to truly be at that point where you're competing for that division title on
Yeah.
equal footing. And again, I don't think that's plus 550. I'd put that more at. I think the juice needs to be
9.
a little longer. Yeah.
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 Win the AFC is 25 to win. 25 to 1. Super Bowl's 40 to 1.
Yeah, like 25 to 1. If you win the West, good chance you've won the AFC.
Definitely. I like that way better than the AFC West.
Yeah, I mean, who scares me out the AFC more than the Chiefs in the West? No one. That's my main contender.
Definitely.
I can see a path where you're better than the Bills.
Yeah.
Bengals. The Bengals scare me too.
Um,
I mean, it's not like the Bills
yeah.
are unscary.
And I would say if you're taking Super Bowl or AFC, maybe I might too. But
No.
I'm not sure it's a great bet as
The
much
AFC
as it's
is
why
far
not.
superior, though.
Definitely.
The There's one good quarterback in the NFC.
Well, that's why you would think if you're 25 to win the AFC, you should be 50 to 1 the Super Bowl, not 40 to 1. But they know that the AFC is probably going to win because you got to get through that gauntlet.
Right.
So there we go. I guess we can recap real quick before we move on.
Yeah, do it.
We like Broncos to make the playoffs at plus 195. We like Jerry over 900.5 receiving yards. We like Russell Wilson over 24.5 passing touchdowns. We like Mims to be the rookie receiving yards leader at 33 to 1. We like Sean Payton coach of the year at 12 to 1. Pat Surtain defense player of the year at 50 to 1. I'm going to sprinkle that one, and I think that's what we came up with. Ooh, one last bet.
Did you say the Cortland Sutton overs?
Oh, Sutton at 700
and Russell
over
touchdowns,
700.5.
right?
We did get that one. Yep.
Okay, good.
Broncos are 3.5 point favorites against the Raiders week 1. You taking it?
The hook scares me. The half point scares me.
Yeah. Does losing
I'm
6 in a
gonna
row?
wait till we get closer and look at what money line sprinkling I can do.
Yep, I like the money line a lot better.
Yeah.
Even if you're giving up value, they've lost 6 in a row to the Raiders. Shady
Gross.
Rays,
Gross.
not Shady Rays aren't gross.
Shady Rays are amazing.
Okay, good.
All in on Shady Rays. I love Shady Rays so much, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, Shady Rays are pretty incredible. These
Look
are
at
my
those.
Shady Rays. I wear them every day. Here's a weird thing. So you know how they're polarized? So sometimes the water kind of like glimmers in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like in a video game when it's like this is something you can interact with. It just like looks different. It's the same thing where it's just like there's something off about this water. I don't know what it is, but that's what the polarization does.
There's such great lenses, man.
There's a bunch of like waterfalls and stuff, but some of them are just like there's like water coming down the like it's kind of like dripping, like it's just wet. So it's not like falling off. But you wouldn't even notice, except when I was wearing my Shady Rays, I was like, wait,
Look at these beasts.
there's water coming out. I can tell because it's like shiny in here, but otherwise you wouldn't even notice. There's one more thing, one more reason why you should get Shady Rays, polarized sunglasses.
They're just awesome shades.
And you can actually get 2 pairs of them for 50% off if you use the code DNVR. They're awesome sunglasses. They use some of the money to do awesome things throughout the United States with Shady Rays Impact. They build play sets for pediatric cancer patients. They provide young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime. They've probably done something in your community. So one more reason to use that code DNVR, get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses from Shady Rays. All right. Let's jump into the comments. The Count says, my gents, my studio flooded last night. Oh no. Hank never hits me up
Terrible.
when he comes to Montana.
Shame.
That is true. Well, the thing is, I've been to Missoula like once in the last 3 years now. And we went back. We flew to Missoula because it's so much cheaper. But then like my grandma's there, and then the car when we get picked up, and we go there for dinner, and then we drive straight up, and we drive straight back again. So there's just
seeing family, man.
Exactly.
It's always
if
like
I was
you got
spending
for that.
time in
Yeah,
Missoula,
it's
you
tough,
could make it
tough.
work. My Face ID on my phone rarely grants me access any longer. Oh no. What happened to your face?
Yeah, what happened?
Our wide receiver room is sketchy. It is. We always talk about how exciting it all is, but
Sketchy?
I mean, it's been what, 4 years of oh my goodness, the Broncos receivers are awesome, and we still haven't seen like, oh looking back this year, the
Yeah.
receivers were awesome.
The passing game has had its issues, no doubt.
Yep, just gotta stay healthy through camp. If they stay healthy through camp, no problem.
You can do it.
I'm not willing to bet on that though, and I'm touching wood.
Yes,
Our running back is middling. Yeah, the
Aw.
running back situation.
It's all about Javonte.
It is all about Javonte. But
But
again,
it's also like we've only seen these guys in horrible offenses for so long.
exactly. And there's perks. I mean, Javonte, he led the NFL in broken tackles year before last. So you love that.
Yeah.
You also hate that he's potentially not hurt. Samaje's never been like a number 1 running back before. And Madden says Javonte is not even a top 20 running back. So where does that leave you? They will likely build a stadium by the dumb airport sooner than we would like.
Let's hope not.
I hope not. And yet I remain happy at my core, awaiting another DNVR pod each and every day, sometimes twice.
Wow.
Good tidings. I'm grateful for you. And if any of you are in Missoula on August 5th, please come to my solo show. It'll be laser beams.
Dang.
I will not be because of the Broncos. Also, Hank's laugh. I love Hank's laugh as of late. There we go. Love the count. He also says, Dre, you're a star. Additionally, I'd like to know where the hell RK, aka RK, is. Did he take a vacay at the same Z's as Numbies? Love the count. Well,
No, he didn't.
Dre has Zach has his honeymoon, which is like a 2-week thing. He also had his wedding before, which meant he needed to like focus on the wedding for a couple days before the honeymoon.
Focus up, got his mentals.
He's supposed to be back on the pod Monday.
Hell yeah.
July is also when I can go home because no football, but also
Yeah.
Montana. That's when like the roads clear and all that sort of stuff.
Oh,
So-
the roads weren't clear prior.
No, well, actually, the one that we want to drive, it cleared the earliest ever is like the end of June. Usually, it's like July 10th
And
to
when
15th.
you say they're not clear, what was on these roads before
Snow.
they're clearing up?
The snow was on it.
Snow.
Yeah, so we wanted to drive through the park, and you can't do that until now. So that's why I always go back in July. And so we tried to that's why I'm back for a few days now
Yeah.
to patch it up because this was supposed to be like RK and Dre week. And so I'm back to give you a few days off, but it turns out RK is now gone for a couple days or a couple weeks. So I'm not actually giving you a few days off. I'm just helping us survive. Friday, I'll be gone again back up in Montana, family reunion. And
We've got some
Zach will
surprises
still be
in
gone.
store.
RK is gone. Jake is gone.
I've got an
Justin's
idea to
gone.
pitch for you off air.
Is it StreamYard?
No, an idea that wouldn't include you.
Well, then
But to
I'm
see
not
what
sure I'm
you
going to
think.
love it. But yeah,
Aw.
we'll see how it goes.
I'd love to have you on StreamYard.
So that's what I don't know where RK is. I know Zach's in Israel. I know I'm going to be back
Hey.
in Montana here soon after my few days of giving Dre a break. So you're welcome for this break, Dre.
Thanks, man.
And then,
it's really been huge for me.
We'll all be back Thursday before camp starts.
So true.
So there's the real plan. MC Coolest says, hey guys, I know it's early, but we are planning our first ever trip to Denver from Florida to see a Broncos game as a family. And we want to purchase tailgate tickets for the home opener against the Raiders. Do you allow kids, 9-year-old, to come to the tailgate? Thanks to Awesome Pod. Yes, we do. All ages are invited. They just can't have the beer, no matter how badly they want it.
Right. The same laws that apply everywhere
Yep.
else do apply to the 9-year-old within the Broncos, DNVR Broncos tailgate.
What-
But otherwise, yes, they are.
They
Very
can play
welcome.
Pong, though. They just can't drink beer. So if you want to teach your 9-year-old how to play Pong so that by the time he or she becomes a young adult, he or she will be incredible at it, and that'd be great. But there's usually at least like a few kids running
And
around.
that's your call.
It
MC
is.
Coolest on the Pong, you know.
That is your call.
Yeah.
The beer, not your call. No beer for the kids.
No beer, unfortunately.
Do we have any super chats? Okay.
Did you save any questions?
Wow.
A plus.
Apparently,
A
you guys didn't
plus
ask good
for effort
questions
from
according to Yaya, so you can take that up with him. Okay. Okay. So yeah, me and Dre will be back tomorrow, and we're gonna talk big picture NFL stuff because we're gonna go through the division winners today, what the best
Dang.
bets are. So push that tomorrow. We'll come up with some more maybe betting themed NFL stuff, maybe not betting themed. We'll see, but we'll see you then. So see you then.